by the drivers, who said, what do we do? When we leave Mombasa, we are left on our own. And you have to cross 4 countries before you deliver the cargo. If you get a problem in Uganda, who will help? So the drivers said, can't the trade union in Uganda help me, even if I'm a Kenyan? And we said, brotherhood and solidarity demands that you are assisted.
There is that reciprocity.
Exactly.
Yes.
So we have reciprocity between the unions in Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania, Rwanda, and Burundi. And this card was developed. It is in 4 languages: English, Swahili, French, and Portuguese.
Okay, so there is an effort that is being made by trade unions to be able to make sure that workers are taken care of. From the point of view of business people, Wanja, if I'm a truck owner or transporter who has for a long time written off the cost of paying for labor agreements that were made through labor relations, paying for health services, and all of a sudden now these costs get loaded onto me, wouldn't I look for the cheaper option, as is happening in the European Union?
Actually, I'd like to say, for a transporter, and talk to any transporter in the region or even in the rest of the world, the driver is the most important asset in a transport business. You can have all the money to buy as many trucks as you want, but unless you have the right drivers, it's not possible. It's basically a waste of money. So I would like to say that the space of improving the situation of drivers will start from treating the transporters the right way. I think the transporters, they have the cost of the loan on the truck, right? The cargo owners are saying, I'm only paying you in 30 days, which is never even 30 days. It ends up being 60 days. Many transporters, if you talk to them, are not even being paid, right? They transport and they're not being paid. So you have the financial burden on transporters that does not allow them to, even improve the situation of their drivers. But if you talk to many of them, they say, look, without my driver, I'm not even moving.
All right. Now, unfortunately, we need to wind up this discussion, but it's definitely something that we want to keep going. I just want to give you each about 20 seconds to give me one solution from your point of view and from your point of view that will lessen the load of the barriers that we face, these non-tariff barriers. I'll start with you, Joseph.
I think all these countries in East Africa are member states of the ILO. And the ILO puts in place a tool we call social dialogue, where the workers, the employers, and the government meet together and discuss issues relating to work, and each one from their own perspective, but persuading the other to see the need to work on those problems. What is happening today is that the governments are talking to the traders about the removal of those non-tariff barriers.
But not to the...
They are not looking at the issues of labor as non-tariff barriers.
All right. Wanja, 20 seconds.
Okay, in my opinion then, the less issues we have regarding customs procedures, and the more you communicate the rules and regulations of the road, communicate the rules and regulations and requirements of customs, not just to the cargo owners or the clearing and forwarding agents, but maybe it's time to have a course for transporters where they're taught the same thing, and to have a course for drivers. Right, so in my opinion, communication, education, sensitization of the entire chain of transportation. All
right, great way to end it. Wanja Gatambu Kiragu from the East Africa Online Transport Agency, as well as Joseph Kevin Gatende from the African Regional Secretary for the International Transport Workers Federation. Thank you very much for joining us. Of course, Bottomline East Africa is the home of such discussions, so we shall be inviting you in due course to continue this discussion as the federation becomes stronger, as the union becomes stronger in terms of trade, in terms of relationships. That's where we're going to end it tonight. Remember, big news coming out of Kenya with that address to the joint houses of the National Assembly by Tanzania's President Jakaya Kikwete. Tomorrow we'll be following that on KTN News as well as here on Bottomline East Africa. That's where I'm going to wind up. My name is John Alanamu. KTN News comes up right next. This has been Bottomline East Africa.